There has been some interest around the MFCS camera. Actually, Eric Panzer was kind of interested in, the rotation constraints and the cursor style aiming. Now, I could have made a Starfall camera controller that was just that part of MFCS taken out. However, I had an idea. So Wiremod has this thing called a camera controller, and oftentimes you use a expression 2 to control it, do view shifting and whatnot. So my genius idea this time was to basically make a Starfall camera controller. So it's gonna have similar inputs and outputs to a camera controller, but it's going to have the extra stuff that the MFCS camera controller has. So this absolute abomination of a system is effectively a Starfall camera controller being controlled by an E2. Let's jump in and take a look. Alright, so once again, I feel like I'm just remaking an old video. We have a gyroscopic camera. This is basically what happens when you put free movement on a regular camera controller. I can then toggle the relative camera. You can see now my view is moving with the vehicle. Now, the Wiremod camera controller already had a relative camera, but you can't switch between the two of them like this. You have to select it on the camera controller. Alright, if we zoom all the way in, so this is the last perspective, there are also view limits, so you can actually see, let's get that little ball down here. This is how far to the left and right I can aim, and you can also see the sort of cursor style aiming. So I believe a better representation would be using EGP to show this off, but you can see basically the hologram moving further to the left. That's where I'm aiming. Okay, so depending on what you're giving the camera controller, you can actually be kind of clever with what you do. So I haven't put too much work into the C2 at all really, but one of the things you could do with the MFCS camera controller is lock onto a position. And you can kinda do it here. So, oh, what's it doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. It breaks. It breaks on me, that's sick. Let's try this again. So I should have a working tracking camera, depending on, oh my gosh. Oh, I was holding shift. Anyway, tracking camera, do you work? Okay, it works. Now, this is pretty horrible, but technically it works. So what I'm doing to do this is I have a hologram that's just turning to face where I set the position, and it's not very good. I guess just an example of something you could sort of hack in if you really, really wanted to, and well, I don't know if anybody can deal with this. This is really just jarring to look at. I know I'm supposed to be working on MFCS because it's almost finished and actually releasing it. But what can I say? I'm like the dude on Counting Cars. I can't help myself. But that's gonna do it for this one. Also gonna put this vehicle up for download. Just a little test bed featuring this E2, and it should work, I think. Not guaranteed. Anyway, see you around. Yeah, I actually don't know what's wrong with that. There he is, he's killing himself. I don't even know what number 1 is.
That's pee-pee. Number 2 is poo-poo.
No, he showed me a screen with number 1 or number 2. I said number 1 and he didn't finish explaining. It's Spastics. Spastics Incorporated. I wonder if they'll see this hologram creeping up to them. Dude, it's like a cat toy. What the MiG-15 doing? Anyway.
But yeah, this chip I made using AI because I can't code.
That's well and good.
But yeah,
I am
it's
gonna
very
have to
basic.
strangle you for contributing to the vibe coding phrase because every time I hear that word,
Yep.
I think I'm
know.
gonna have a deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, I know it's depressing, but I really hate coding. And how
No,
much
it's fine. It's just like every time I go on Reddit and hear about, oh yeah, AI is gonna replace us or some crap, it's like, man, I want to know your location so I can strangle you.
Come visit